Any small group of people is going to be localized to a certain region. It's only recently that we've been spread out across the globe. But throughout history, individual tribes or villages or small nations are in one specific area. And in that specific area, they'll find specific resources. Let's create a fictitious example. The red-tailed swooping dove. Now, this is a very delicious bird, but it can only be caught in one particular way. And there's a village that knows how to catch them. You see, the swooping dove loves dragonflies. This village found that out, and now they collect dragonflies to use as a lure to catch this bird. Because just this village knows this technique to catch this dove, it's a technology that's localized just to them. To know this technique, you have to be a part of this village or be told it by somebody from within the village. That makes this a cultured technology. How do you learn a cultured technology? Well, like I said, there's only two ways to really learn it. You either are brought up or are immersed in this culture that has the technology, or somebody from that culture tells it to you and teaches you. Cultured technology comes from accident to learning, just like everything else. Somebody figures something out, and then they tell other people about it. Now, if the people they tell are an in-group, and the information stays in that in-group, and it gets passed down through generations to people who stay in that in-group, it becomes a cultured technology. If anybody who sees it learns it, and the information just gets spread out, then it just becomes a technology that's commonplace. There's another thing. Certain types of technology are widespread. They are commonplace. But each individual culture that uses that technology, looking at as you scope down onto a specific region, there's going to be certain ways that each culture does it. Now that's a cultured technology. Say boat making is well known, wide known, everyone can make a kayak out of a tree. But one specific village creates notches in the side so that the oars can be placed on them. And then they figure out to put a covering over it so the oars don't fly out. That would be a cultured technology, a spin on a commonplace technology. Now, I like to think of plants around us. Plants are localized to one specific area. More importantly, edible and dangerous plants are localized to one specific area. So the people who live there learn this over many generations and teach each other that information. If you go to a place you've never been before, you're not going to know what's edible and what's not until you ask somebody who's been there and lived there and learn from somebody else that lived there. So that's the way you learned cultured technology.